Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of Mego Museum's Mint Off Card. I am Brian, your host, and it's been a while since I've done this. Haven't really gotten much new in these days, but this one's a corker. I've got not one, not two, but three action figures to review. Granted, one of them is just a variant of the other one, but I digress. These are the new figures from a company called White Elephant Toyz. If you remember correctly, I did a review of the Murderous Maiden's Lilith figure that they released this year. And they're back with a whole new series of 8-inch monsters called the Frightful Fiendz. Now, full disclosure before I dig into this, I'm not only friends with Jason, and I've known him a long time, but we're actually working together on a couple of projects. I'm kind of a tourist in the toy business, and he's really helping me out. And we are working on the officially licensed Turrisatana figure together and our newly released co-toy lines of the Polyester Pals in my case. And in his case, he calls them Graveyard Geeks. And they are wonderful little Tomlin-esque monsters that we've created. I hope you'll check them out on both my website and on his. So as always, this video is just so you form your own opinion of the piece and buy what you like. So Jason has released previously a figure of the Wolfman out of this line, but as you can see on the back of the box, he plans to put together a real eclectic mix of classic monster characters, some of which are inspired by vintage toys such as Lincoln or Tomland, while many others are just original ideas he had, and they're very interesting takes on popular, iconic monster archetypes, for lack of a better word. So we have three figures based on two character concepts. The first being the horrible mummy, which that's Jason's naming of it, not me. I'm not making any sort of added disparaging remark. That is the name of the figure, the horrible mummy, and he comes in regular or extra crisp, bloody version. The other figure is the very wonderfully named Teenage Bog Monster, a name that I heartily approve of. Really well done there. Absolutely smashing. The packaging for these figures is done as a window box, which is something I really applaud, mainly because it's a little different than what others are doing right now, although window boxes are making something of a comeback if you look at what Mego's doing. And it's also so collector friendly. And this is mint off card. I rip figures off the card. So it's always nice when you can take something out of the package, do the episode, and put it right back in the package with no harm done. So I applaud that. The design of the box is very interesting. It has the official White Elephant Toyz spokesmodel there, and I really need to get his name. Now, Jason has actually made a figure of this guy in the Graveyard Geeks line, and I hope to get one soon because he's a really cool character. Now, it's a uniform package for the character. Which of course is a cost-saving measure. Heck, Remco used to do it and just sticker the names on the characters. It is, however, a very well-made and colorful packaging. The colors really pop on this thing, and it looks really good on your shelf. So, without further ado, let's unleash these monsters from their cardboard tombs and let them wreak havoc with silly music in my furnace room. Hang tight. So there you have it, the Frightful Fiendz from White Elephant Toyz. So I'm going to give you my personal thoughts on these guys. Let's start with the horrible mummy. The head sculpt, I believe, is a bit of a homage to a mask company called Topstone that made masks, I think, from the 60s right until the early 80s. For more on Topstone, the leading authority that I know would be Ray Castile, who runs the Ray Castile channel and the Basement of Horror series. But he has another sub-series called Tomb of the Topstones. And I highly recommend checking that out because these are really neat, iconic masks, and you saw them in ads. And that mummy, I'll never forget. The figure, of course, glows in the dark. It glows very well. My first favorite thing about this is the arm in the sling. That reminds me of Karis, who was the mummy when we were kids, the Lon Chaney version, not Imhotep. I don't remember Imhotep as a kid. Everything was Karis based. And I love that. Even AHI made a figure like this, and that tied up arm really does wonders for me. But if you had to make me choose, and I'm assuming you will, I have to go with the bloody variant. I know it's silly and it's very much harkening back to childhood, but it just reminds me of, the Lincoln International mummy and the Tomland mummy. I love when they're just slapped in tons of blood. That something about that just looks really sharp. The mummy is not wearing any footwear, not that we'd expect it to. Most mummy figures either are in, basically a onesie, or they wrap the feet up. AHI gave the mummy shoes, and it looked weird. It was like these little white slippers, and it was like, no, that doesn't work. But, Tomland and Remco made him barefoot, and I agree with this. And, of course, they glow, so you want them out there. Next, let's move on to the Teenage Bog Monster, who I gotta say is my favorite of the two. I mean, the mummy is no slouch, but I own mummies, and I do not own a Teenage Bog Monster. The origins of this head were confided to me by Jason. It does look kind of familiar, and he got it from a Mexican knockoff toy that he kind of fell in love with. And who knows what its origin was meant to be, but it does make for a grade Z monster movie. I'm thinking of movies like Zat, or anything William Grefé directed, where it just kind of has that B movie appeal, and he really nailed it here. If you saw this monster in real life, you'd probably enjoy the movie, but you'd roll your eyes at this thing. His shirt, or whatever this is, this material really puts it over the edge for me. I really like the otherworldly nature of it, and it actually... So really interesting on this figure are the hands. These are claws. He only has 3 fingers. And of course, even his feet are like talons, giving him a real monstery approach. And again, just like the mummy, this guy really glows in the dark, and it's really kind of just a fun figure. I've had this guy on my desk for almost a month now, and I got to tell you, I've had a lot of fun fooling around with him. He is just got that monster toy joy to him. So I am very impressed with both of these, but Teenage Bog Monster, he's my favorite. I'm very happy to announce that Jason has just launched his site, whiteelephanttoyz.com, and you can pick up the Frightful Fiendz, the Graveyard Geeks. He also has another toy line called KC's Gallopin' Gals. He's got bodies, he's got parts, he's got accessories, and they'll just keep coming. So it's another great resource if you like to make your own custom figures, or you're just a fan of monsters in general. So please check out the White Elephant Toyz site or the White Elephant Toyz Facebook group. I'll put the links in the description. So before I wrap up, I'm going to ask the question, what do you think of these monsters? Who's your favorite? Are you into these kind of monsters? Let me know in the comments below, or you can hit me up on Facebook at our group, Mego Mania, where we talk about this stuff all the time. And of course, at the forums at megomuseum.com, where we have a forum for White Elephant Toyz. Thank you as always for watching. If you're new to this, I hope you will consider hitting like and subscribe. If you aren't new to this, please consider sharing. It really helps us out. That's all for this week. As always, be well and buy what you like. And hey, if you like what I do, please consider checking out our store on our site, plaidstallions.com. We've got magazines such as Toy Ventures, and now we have an assortment of our own Polyester Pals action figures now available. Thanks for watching.